I'm here with Martyn Staveley of Three Peaks Consulting, who's leading on Cumbria Business Growth Hub's new supply chain program. The program offers one-to-one support to businesses looking for opportunities in new supply chains. Welcome to the podcast, Martyn.
Thank you. Good to be here.
Good to have you here. Martyn, could you just start off by talking a bit about your career so far and your background working in supply chains?
So my career first started working in Kendal for what was a company called Europa Sport and became Low Alpine Group. We were importers and distributors of outdoor equipment and clothing for the ski market and for mountaineering. After 14 years there in a company that grew from 4 to 24 million pounds, I went into Reebok in Lancaster to manage their IT department, which I did for 10 years. And the scale of business and its extended global supply chain grew from 24 million pounds was a quiet month in that particular business. It was something that was turning over circa 400 million pounds a year.
Wow.
So a different scale and different levels of complexity. A number of different things happened, and then I ended up working in Cumbria on economic development programs, which would be my first contact with Cumbria Chamber. I was managing business support programs, so I've got a very detailed understanding of what is happening in the business support area. Worked with Investing Cumbria as well for 5 years or so, again managing supply chain activity, more with a focus on the west of the county and what was happening at Sellafield at the time. Since doing all of that, I've worked with another consultancy on international trade. So we were framework contractors to Welsh Government, providing a range of services to look at routes to market, market opportunities, and then actually physically taking Welsh companies to exhibitions and trade shows all over the world. And we performed similar work with another cohort from North America as well. So I've seen firsthand the good and the bad of trying to get into supply chains, and some of the best practice I think that people have in being successful. These things don't always happen overnight. You need a plan of attack, and you need some patience sometimes, particularly with the larger infrastructure projects.
Thank you for that. And yes, so it's great that you can bring all that wealth of experience to this new program that we're running for businesses in Cumbria. Can you just tell our listeners a bit about the program we're running? Who's it targeted at, and what can a business expect to receive if they take part?
It's open to any business in Cumbria, in any sector. We're not restricting it at all to anyone. The Chamber of Commerce website gives some guidance on what you need to do, to drop a note through to Leslie to outline what it is. We'll review all of those. You'll perhaps get a call from myself, a discovery call, just to understand a little bit more about how we can help. In reality, there's no absolute structure to it because it's going to be dependent on each individual's needs, circumstances, and where they are and what their ambition is. But the thing that is fixed in the program will be a meet the buyer type event somewhere sort of halfway to 2/3 along. So probably late May, early June, where we'll get an opportunity to practice pitching to people and get some feedback to understand how that might work. In reality, as I say, it's based on individual need rather than a prescriptive itinerary or program to follow. And we'll agree that at the first meeting. The first meeting will be in person. And again, we'll agree whether any subsequent conversations need to be in person or can be done virtually.
So you're looking to kind of appeal to every sector with this program, is that right?
It is, because there are opportunities not just within Cumbria, and you look at the big ticket items that are happening currently. So all the work that's happening at Sellafield, at BAE and Barrow, with Gardens Village developments around Carlisle. You look north of the border, there's substantial investment happening in Dumfries and Galloway, and south of Cumbria, just in Morecambe, with the Eden North project that's all starting there. You look again across the UK, there are significant major projects happening in renewables with HS2, other large capital investments elsewhere. And my experience lends itself to international opportunities as well, because I've spent quite a long time looking at those with people. So again, if people's ambition is beyond the UK, we can help with that.
When you think about these big projects like Sellafield and BAE and HS2, what comes to my mind is kind of sort of like engineering, manufacturing businesses. Is that true, or is there opportunities for a range of businesses within those projects?
I think there's an opportunity for everybody because they all need project management, they all need accountants, they need stationery, they need all the things that any business needs to be able to function and perform. So whether that's IT services, HR related services, all different forms of consultancy. So I think there are opportunities for all. And it often looks intimidating to an outsider when you look at what you need to do. And perhaps, as part of that, again, depending on the journey that people want to take, we can do something to try and demystify that and try and make it a little bit simpler. Or even, decide that that isn't the right direction to travel. Your public sector contracts, large contracts, large procurements always look quite daunting because there's a lot of paperwork. In reality, they ask some simple questions. They also ask some difficult questions, but if your business is capable and competent, then you should be able to work through it methodically and answer all the questions.
That kind of leads us on to our next question, which is why is a supply chain support program like this needed in Cumbria?
I think in my mind, it's just to allow the Cumbrian businesses to look at the wider opportunities and take advantage of the skills, experience, capabilities and the staff that they have. There's a lot happening in Cumbria. There's also an incredible amount of work happening in the northwest as well as the rest of England. So I think it's broadening your horizons and looking at other opportunities so that your business has a sustainable pipeline of work, for the next 5 or 10 years.
You talked briefly just before about the meet the buyer event element of this program that the businesses will be able to engage with should they take part. Why is that sort of thing important?
We spent a lot of time working with different client groups to arrange meetings, either at trade shows or exhibitions. And it takes a huge amount of time to get in front of somebody, particularly senior people who are quite busy. And you just need to be better prepared for those things. It's like going for an interview in reality. You need to know your subject matter. You need to know what it is that they want. And you need to be able to answer your questions because you probably only get that single opportunity. And if you fluff your lines, don't know your subject matter, we're all nervous when we do those things, yes, but you need to be confident in answering all the questions to then be able to progress through to the next round.
That's great. So, and you're looking to hold that event sort of, was it end of May sort of time?
Yeah, end of May, beginning of June, somewhere in that time frame. Yet to be determined, yet to be decided. It will depend entirely on the audience of companies that we have, because then we'll try and match that with different buyers and procurement people from different organizations. So they get a mix of things that are in their industry, but also things that aren't as well. So, and we'll find a location that's convenient for everyone as well. Again, depending on the geographic spread of the companies that wish to take part.
Brilliant. Yeah, that's really exciting. Looking forward to seeing that come to fruition. So just for our last question, that Martyn, bringing it back to kind of your own experience, why did you came to us with the idea for this program? As I understand, what was the impetus that drove you to do that?
I think for all the Cumbrian companies that I've worked with over the years, and many of them might watch this and remember the work that I did, either with Invest in Cumbria or Rural Regeneration Cumbria. I think that people miss out on the opportunities that are around because they always expect bigger companies to come in and take it. Well, yes, they might do. There'll be a number of principal housing developers that will work on the gather city developments, but they'll need subcontractors locally to do a vast proportion of the work. So I think it's an opportunity for people to look and find opportunities, not just within the county, but out with and into the further northwest and the rest of the UK, and make the most of what they have, fulfill some of the ambition that they have to grow the business and have a sustainable legacy in the county.
Brilliant. Thanks very much for being with us on the podcast today, Martyn. Anyone looking to find out more about this program should go to cumbriagrowthhub.co.uk, and then if you hover over business support, you'll see supply chain program under there. We'll put the link in the notes as well, and our email address, so that you can drop us a line and get in touch with Martyn. Thanks very much again, Martyn.
Thank you very much. Look forward to working with everyone.